This boy is sleeping on the bed peacefully, but for some reason is covered with copper wires. Meanwhile, his friend is holding both ends of copper wires and asks him if he wants to say something. The boy asked him to go ahead, saying that he believed it would be like what was mentioned in the book. It was written in the book that electricity can heal his body. Hearing that, this white-haired boy put the copper wire in the socket. Warning from the author: do not repeat this situation. The main character is crazy. You are not. With that, the boy felt a high-voltage electric shock. Right after, the alarm started ringing in the mental hospital, and some people started announcing that the patients in room 666, one is old and the other is young, have messed up again. They asked the security to check the room and also asked to bring the fire extinguisher. Meanwhile, our boy is being carried to the hospital. After the shock, he has difficulty in breathing and is burned all over. After that, they put him in the ambulance that just arrived outside the mental hospital. Then, his old friend who did all this goes to the hospital with him. On the second floor, the manager of the hospital saw everything. He said that in this mental hospital, one patient is an astronomer and the other is a professor of medicine. There is also an inventor and fortune teller in this hospital. But the two patients that are living in room 666 are always trying to kill people when they're having a psychopathic episode. At the hospital, we see that our boy is awake and telling his friend that he is feeling good, just like it was mentioned in the book. He said that acupoints in his body are opened. He told him that he even saw the universe. His white-haired friend then asked him if he was able to see the universe because he had stabbed the needle into his head. But our boy refused and said that it's a green circle which he doesn't know. It said, "Welcome my master to Dao Wu, system activated." Then, we see a mountain where a monster is killing humans. News reporters say that the level 7 monster has been spotted in a mountain. Because of its attack, lots of people are injured, and the government has sent people there to help. New reporter advised everyone to not go to that mountain for their own safety. Again, we see our boy who is unconscious while doctors are doing operations. There are messages flowing around saying Strongest Man System has found a new master, preparing to activate. System realized that its master's mind had a problem, so it started checking. 3 minutes before the operation started. Doctors have seen this boy before, but they don't know why his injuries are so bad this time. One doctor revealed that he had a copper core winding around his body and connected to the electricity. At this point, our boy's blood pressure, heart rate 250 per minute, that is above the average. Doctors was about to start operation after giving him anesthesia, but the boy refused to take anesthesia because he is feeling so good right now. He said that the burning skin on his body is because his body has been purified. He asked them to just start the operation without anesthesia. Hearing that, one doctor got angry saying that it's a burn because of your silly action. But our boy still refused to take anesthesia, saying that he has to feel pain if he wants to train his mind. He said that his mind is really strong and normal people like this doctor can't understand that. When doctors were about to give him anesthesia, the boy warned them, "If you try to anesthesia me, I won't pay the fee." Still, the doctor forcefully gave him anesthesia, saying that the mental patient like him doesn't have money to begin with. After getting anesthesia, the boy said that he will resist it with his mind's power, but his mind power didn't work on it. Then we see a 10-year-old Lin Fan. He has just smashed his head with the hammer, asking his mom to not worry, because he's just practicing a mental head. Then 11-year-old Lin Fan. Now, he is about to cut down the unnecessary lump of meat to practice some more techniques. But his mom stopped him and saved the Lin family from going extinct. After that day, the little Fan was brought to a mental hospital to check. His mom was checking his report while Lin Fan was asking him to drop him from the 5th floor because he wants one more acupuncture point in his stomach. To his mom's shock, little Fan turned out to be a level 5 mental patient that is not harmful to society, but is harmful to himself. In the present, we see Lin Fan is covered with bandages while his friend is sitting beside him eating bananas. Then, Lin Fan asked his friend to stab him with the needles a few times because he is thinking that he is about to level up. His friend immediately agreed, saying that he has researched a new needle play manual recently based on Lin Fan body. Hearing that, Lin Fan asked him this new technique level and guessed if it was Earth level. His friend said that it's an even upgraded version. He started stabbing him with needles, saying that it's universal level. After the stabbing was done, Lin Fan's friend asked him how he was feeling. Lin Fan answered that he heard some voice in his head. His friend is curious to know what those voices said, but Lin Fan got unconscious before he said anything. When a doctor saw that, he called more doctors in the room to check the situation. Doctor said that Lin Fan's heart rate is dropping quickly and his arm is also full of needles. One doctor asked the other to bring him to the emergency room. The second doctor asked to call the head doctor. During the operation, some messages appeared that said, "Strongest man system activating. Host will receive the strong martial arts manual." After the surgery, one doctor was about to die because it took them the whole night to complete. Other doctors were also feeling very tired. One doctor was happy, saying that he will finally be able to eat his wife's prepared meal. But as he was about to take one bite, a nurse ran in saying that the patient has hurt himself again. Head doctor was really angry. He threw the food on the floor, saying that they just performed the surgery. Nurse also agreed, but the patient is a mental patient, and this hospital is not professional in that field. Meanwhile, at the mental hospital, a man entered the director's room, saying that the boss of Baihai Cemetery had sent him to ask when they should prepare the grave for that guy. Director asked the man to cancel it as the boy for whom that grave was for has survived. Hearing that, man said that his boss told him not to disturb him until they make sure Lin Fan is dead. Director said he's telling this for the 100th time. He's so young. Right then, the director's phone rang and he picked it up. The person who called is the head of the hospital where Lin Fan is. He is really angry and said that his doctors have worked tirelessly to save the boy, but he just keeps on hurting himself. He asked the director if his mental patient was playing with him. Hearing that, the director stopped the man and said, "I think we'll need a grave." President of the hospital said that he will save Lin Fan just one more time and will take him to the mental hospital himself. President got more and more angry as he talked to the director. President said that if Lin Fan hurt him one more time, he would cut him down to pieces himself. Outside the emergency room, Lin Fan's friend was lying on chairs thinking why his universal skill hurt Lin Fan. He wondered if he had done something wrong. But Lin Fan's friend didn't got sad as Lin Fan at least heard a voice in his head. He decided to try his universal technique again, this time on himself. But as he did that, he got unconscious. Inside the emergency room, a doctor was really depressed and said that when the president asked him to join this hospital, he told him that they'd have extreme situations here, which would help to gain a lot more experience. At that time, this depressed doctor didn't understand what the president meant. But now he knows what an extreme situation means. When he came here, he saved Lin Fan 48 times. The doctor started crying because of overwork. Meanwhile, Lin Fan was unconscious on the bed when more system messages appeared in front of him that said, "You have finished your mission. Now you can use your power. You received body enhancement. Do you want to use it?" As the system notices that the host is unable to choose because of his conditions, it sighed and decided to auto-choose the best option for him. It chose yes and said, "Opening a new location, starting to count down. Your body is being enhanced." After some hours, outside the hospital, the president was standing near the ambulance waiting for the patients. Right then, the nurse with some doctors and Lin Fan came outside. The nurse said that the surgery was successful and the patient is fine now. President asked them to hurry up and take Lin Fan to the ambulance. Then, the president also sat in the ambulance ready to drive. Ambulance drivers were asking the president to let him drive. But the president has made up his mind to take Lin Fan himself. When the president was about to leave, the nurse stopped him, saying that there's another patient that needs to go to the mental hospital. Hearing that, the president got really angry. Then, nurse said that the Dr. Wong, who did the surgery for Lin Fan, he asked her to give the president something. She shows him a cloth in which something was written with blood, "I resign." At the mental hospital, the director was begging to God to not let those two return to his mental hospital. But when he heard the voice of an ambulance, he realized that they are here. Director came outside to receive those two and said, "Mr. Lee, it seems like you're doing a bit too much." Director said that his two mental boys had just come out of the surgery, and it's dangerous to send them back like this. The director asked the president to keep them to his hospital. As their friends, he will not tell anybody about this. Hearing that, the president sat on his knees and said, "You're right. We're friends. Please don't mess up my hospital." The president said that these two make all the doctors in his hospital crazy. Seeing the situation, the director thought that the script shouldn't be like this. Saying that, the president immediately left in the ambulance, saying that he can keep those stretchers and asked him to never send those two mentals to his hospital again. After he left, the director asked Lin Fan how he was feeling. Lin Fan answered saying that he is feeling alright, while the staff was thinking that they aren't alright. Lin Fan's friend said that he's alright too. Then, the director asked to send these two to their room. There, we see that both of them are completely confined, unable to move even a finger. Lin Fan's friend was struggling and asked him if he could move. Lin Fan was completely calm and answered saying that he's training. He said that the voice in his head is teaching him and also said, body enhancement complete. Lin Fan said that he's feeling more powerful now. Lin Fan's friend was happy and said, we're successful. Lin Fan also said, universal level skill is successful. Electricity skill is also successful. Then, Lin Fan's friend asked him if they should try the hammer method next. Lin Fan answered with yes. Outside the room, the director and two staff members were standing. They can't believe how calm these two are. They're not even making a sound. These two staff members knew that they were talking about using a hammer to smash in the check, but they didn't have a hammer. Director left saying that everything is under control. After that, we see a girl who was just walking on the road using her phone. But suddenly, a monster attacked her and killed her on the spot. Next day, when Lin Fan woke up, he easily tore apart the tapes and freed himself. Now, his body is looking very good. Then, he goes to his friend Zhang and also frees him. Zhang was completely shocked seeing the new body of Lin Fan. Zhang touched his belly and realized that it's so hard. Lin Fan said that this is one of the consequences of cultivation. Now that his chest is very hard, they decide to beat it with a hammer. Outside the room, an engineer was just doing his work. Suddenly, he felt that there was someone behind him. He thought that it is a monster and got really scared. But it was just Mr. Zhang. Mr. Zhang said hi to the man, while Li Fan took the hammer. As their mission was done, they left. Man is finally relieved and said that it's too difficult to work here. But he's still working because the salary is good. When he checked his tools box, he realized that there was no hammer in it. Suddenly, he heard a sound and wondered what the sound was. Curious man goes to check what is going on. As he reached room 666, he saw that a boy was beating someone with the hammer. Mr. Zhang looked back with an evil smile and said he saw everything. This made the man really scared and he ran away. Then, a system message appeared in front of the Lin Fan that said, the owner has completely finished upgrading the D level. There is an ability to improve one part of your body. Select the part. As Lin Fan didn't choose anything himself, the system automatically chose hands. Then, we see the same man getting dragged to room 666 by two staff members. He was shouting all the way that there are murderers, psychopaths, and everything. But they still take him there without listening to anything. When they reached there, the room was completely clean and there was no blood anywhere. Man was completely shocked how that happened, because he clearly saw what happened at night. Lin Fan said that I was drinking cola, and Mr. Zhang said that he was drinking Sprite. But they both don't know they are just drinking milk. Seeing the situation, the director tells the man that there is no one murdered, no blood. Director asked him to relax and said that it was just his imagination. But the man was very scared. He said that he can't do this job. He asked the director to get his hammer back from those psychos, and then he would leave. The man told the director to not call him here if they got any problem. He declared that he will not come even if he gets paid more, unless he got paid double the money. Then, director turned to Lin Fan and asked him to give the hammer back. Lin Fan and Mr. Zhang act like they don't know anything. Then, the director points at Lin Fan's pants, and there is something big. Everyone is curious to know what that is. It's okay that the female is blushing, but I don't know why that guy is also blushing. So, Lin Fan put his hand in his pants and took out a thing. It was a hammer. Director asked Lin Fan to put it down, but Lin Fan asked them to come and get it. Everyone was scared, don't what to do. Then, the director thought that today is February 29th. Tomorrow will be his birthday. He doesn't want it to turn into a funeral. In the end, the director shows the courage to get the hammer back. He moved, got the hammer, and came back with no harm. Staff members started celebrating that the director is still alive. Director gave the hammer back to the engineer. After that, we see mental patients seeing the T.V, in which a female news reporter was talking about monsters. One mental man said that this new reporter is his wife, and the second said that she's his daughter. With that, they both hug each other because the man thought that the other is his father-in-law. Lin fan Mr. Zhang was also sitting there. Mr. Zhang asked Lin if he knew her. Lin answered saying that she is his girlfriend. After that, we see a girl who just tested her power level, and it's 2. She asked if they should go and hunt nasty monsters. This is the team of 4 with all 4 having power level 2. They decide to do their hunting mission in secret, so they will show their potential and earn good reward. Meanwhile, Lin and Mr. Zhang were watching the news. News reporter said that today is Saturday, February 29th. Hearing that, Zhang wondered how it could be February 29th today, because his clock is showing March 7th. Lin asks him if his clock is wrong. Zhang answered with no, saying that this is a luxury watch X that costs around 100 million yuan. Then, another mental patient arrived there who thinks of himself as an expert in fixing watches. He used magnifying glass to see the watch closely. After seeing it properly, he said that the watch is fine, but there's just a little problem that needs to be fixed. He asks Zhang to not worry and guarantees that this watch will work for life after he fixes it. Considering that Zhang has spent 100 million yuan at this watch fixer place, as a VIP customer, he said that he'll fix everything for free. With the marker, he drew a watch in Zhang's hand and called it a day. Zhang also got really happy, saying that his service is the best. At night, Zhang was crying, saying that that watch fixer scammed him. He is crying because his watch is already broke, thinking that this happened because the watch was fake. To make Zhang stop crying, Lin offered him coca that is in reality just a milk bottle. But Zhang and Lin don't care. They both drink milk thinking that it's cola and Sprite. While drinking, Lin said to Zhang that the girl in his mind is talking again. When Zhang asked him what she said, a system message appeared in front of Lin. It said, "Countdown finish. You can open the imagined world now. Now you can access the world time stop. To stop this, finish your mission in the imagined world. Mission: help the heirs of the found of Qian Shui by Lian Jinjing to stop being bullied at school. Mission target: Qinyang. Notes: body and power convery 100%. After that, Lin's soul transferred into someone else's body in another world. Lin looked around and wondered what this place was. He looked into the mirror and thought that he had turned into a girl. He put his hand in his pajamas to touch something. Right then, his mom entered the room telling him that the breakfast was ready and asked him to come down if he doesn't want to be late. Seeing where Lin's hand is, she immediately left, saying that she didn't see anything. Lin realized that this body is that of a boy, not a girl. He wonders if this guy is crazy because he is wearing pink pajamas. After that, we see Lin eating breakfast with his mom. She calls him Yang Yang and tells him that his friends just want to play with him. She asks him to not worry about anything and just focus on his study. There was a milk glass on the table which Lin thought was soy milk. His mom tells him that this is not soy milk, but cow milk. She tells him that he is about to join high school and asks him to put all his focus on study without caring about other things. Suddenly, she was shocked to see that her son had dropped all the milk in hot soup and drank it all in an instant. And Lin actually liked it. After that, we see Lin walking outside wearing a backpack. He is walking freely outside after a very long time. That's why he is a little shocked. Lin has realized that his name is Qinyang now, and Qinyang mom told him to go to school. So, he is doing just that and going to school. In the bus, he was sitting in his seat comfortably when a little girl entered the bus. As the bus was full, she tried to stay standing by grabbing the hand, but she was too small for that. Seeing her struggling, Lin gave up his seat for her. Then, Chun Yang's classmate named Zhang Hao entered the bus. Zhang is quite a bully who has asked Chun to take the seat for him. We will just call him Chun because he is in another world. As Chun has given up his seat for the little girl, there is no seat left for Zhang. Zhang asks him why he didn't take the seat for him and asks him if he wants to get beaten. Seeing the situation, Chun remembered how he used to get bullied at school. Zhang was getting a little scared because Chun's expressions are a little different today. Before Zhang did anything to Chun, the little girl told him that Chun gave his seat to her. Suddenly, a man entered the bus covered with blood, saying that a psychopath had killed someone, and asked the bus driver to hurry and drive the bus. Outside, everyone was scared and running away, and a man wearing a mental patient uniform was entering the bus. He entered the bus saying that he'll cut down everyone. Seeing him, Zhang got really scared and tried to hide. While Chun isn't showing any expression and is completely calm. Psychopath was about to attack the girl, but Chun literally stopped the knife with bare hand and said, "Hey you monk, why do you want to kill people? Chun is holding the knife so tightly that Psychopath can't even take it back. They both started fighting. Chun asked him to let it go, while he asked Chun to let it go. Meanwhile, everyone in the bus who is witnessing the scene is worried and scared at the same time. In the end, even the Psychopath got scared and let go of the knife. Man asked Chun if he was crazy, but Chun refused to answer because he wanted the man to answer his question that he asked before. First,